So before the session start, let us give me a brief introduction about our respected speaker, Arthi Udayakumar. So Arthi Udayakumar, a dynamic AI/ML engineer and quantum information scientist based in Bangalore, India, and she stand out as a key influencer in sustainable AI research, holding a master's degree in artificial intelligence and machine learning from Colorado State University, USA. She continually expands her technical knowledge. As an ML engineering senior analyst at Accenture Technology Solutions Private Limited, she dedicates herself to pioneering sustainable AI initiatives. Her role involves more than just research, it's a commitment to crafting solutions aligned with sustainability goals, addressing challenges, and fostering innovation. Arthi's impactful journey includes key roles at Infosys Labs, where she led teams in quantum computing and quantum machine learning research. This experience positions her as a seasoned professional with a profound understanding of the intersection between AI and quantum technologies. Based on her professional endeavors, beyond her professional endeavors, she actively engages in community service and advocates for sustainability. As a social and sustainability innovator, she collaborates with global teams to design solutions for societal well-being. Arthi's succinct yet powerful presence in the dynamic realm of technology and sustainability exemplifies her commitment to pushing the boundaries of AI for a better and sustainable future. In the quiet corners of our life, Arthi finds balance as a mother nurturing a 3-year-old boy, but her creativity doesn't stop there. She is a bilingual poet and an avid painter. So I feel, or I must say, we feel proud to have you in this event. So we warmly greet you for the event and we wish to get as much knowledge as possible from this session. Thank you, madam. You are welcome. Madam, your mic may be turned off.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
you are
you are
audible,
audible.
ma'am.
Okay, so good evening, everyone, and thank you for the warm welcome. So I'm delighted to be here at this event, this FTP on NIT Rourkela, and I extend my gratitude to Arnab and Prasanjit for providing me this incredible opportunity to join the students and the staffs. Thanks a lot. So uh, can I share the presentation from my end?
Yeah, sure, madam.
Okay. Give me a moment.
Sure.
So will this team allow to present the teams will allow to present the content? Like I can't share the screen entirely. That's why.
Professor
Yes,
Arnab, can you look into it?
yes, it is yes, anybody can present. The share
It's
option
fine.
is there, ma'am, right side corner.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
After
Hmm.
mic, on
Yeah,
the
Ha.
I'm
right side
browsing
of
there.
mic.
Yeah, I'm
Ha.
browsing there, and
Then window.
There are two option will be there. One to screen the entire
Hmm.
screen, and another is window where you can share any specific window. If you want to share the whole screen, then you can share your total screen. Then everything in the screen will be visible. Else, you can select a specific window to demonstrate.
okay. Actually, I thought of presenting you the content. So, second. Give me a moment.
Yeah, no issue.
Yeah, I hope it's visible now.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is
yes, yes.
visible.
Okay, so now before we did, someone has changed it. Mm, Someone took the control.
Uh, no, no, no. You can do the changes according to you.
Yeah, so I will present it. So I will get the control. So yeah, now before we dive into the heart of the session, so let me pose a question to all of you. So how many of you love ice cream or any chilled beverages? Here, you can raise your hands or you can unmute yourself and you can open it up. That's fantastic. I can see many raised up hands and many thumbs up. And Arnab, actually my screen, I'm losing the control, I guess, while sharing it. Is it visible still?
Yeah, it is visible. It is visible. You can proceed.
Okay. Actually, I'm not looking at the screen because it's not visible to me. Yeah, now it's okay. And that's really fantastic. I share the sentiment here that I'm a quite the fan of ice cream. So now let's ponder for a moment. Did iced beverages exist before the invention of refrigerators or any freezing systems or not? Any idea?
I believe yes.
Yep. Yes. uh, so is my screen moved? I'm
No,
continuously
it is.
losing the
It's
control actually.
okay.
Actually, in the top left, there is an option take control. You can click over there, then all control will be in your hand. On the top left, before pop out, on the left side of the pop out, the chat, then pop out, then take control option is there. In that, you can take
Actually,
control.
that's not available to me.
Okay.
Can someone do this control back to me?
Your screen is visible. Actually, madam, if you share your entire screen, in that case, maybe this problem will get solved.
Okay.
Because
Actually, this thing is someone is switching the control. That's why I need that control. That's why if you give me control, I can do this because I can't share the screens.
yeah, but we have made you the presenter. Like there is a two. One is the presenter, another the attendee. So we have made you presenter. So you have the full control. So you can change whatever you wish to do, and the organizer is not doing anything. So there should not be any trouble. But there
Yeah,
should not be any trouble.
I guess
Can you
I
tell
will
me
share
that
it.
have you changed your slide? Means your slide has changed from your end?
Actually, I'm getting a blank screen. That's why.
Oh,
Arnab,
getting a
I
black.
will post you this one. What I'm facing. Yeah.
Okay, so
And or one suggestion we can provide it to you, you can log out and rejoin again. So in that case, maybe the problem gets solved.
Yeah, sure. Then I will leave and I will join back.
Okay,
Will it be okay?
that will help
Yep, yep,
maybe.
yep. Just a moment.
Sure.
So I'm back now. Let's see now, or if I face any issue or not. Am I audible?
yes,
Yes,
you
you
are
are
probably.
audible.
Okay, where we left, we are in the ice cream conversation, right? So
Right.
now let's move. So here we had a question, right? Whether the iced beverages or either ice cream exist even before the refrigerator or any freezing systems, right? Actually, yeah, as we all know that it existed, and even in our history, there is a mentioning that even the Mughal emperors they liked the iced beverages, so that even the Mughal emperor Akbar, right, he had a one troop to send his people to the Himalayas and cut down the ice. So those people brought it back to the fort, and he had the entire troop for cutting the ice from Himalayas and the Hindu Kush regions and to make iced beverages. So why this example is only at those times ice was considered as a very luxurious good, and it was available only to the kings and the royal families. So then around 1783, like in the 19th century, there came a ice king. His name is Frederick Tudor. What he did is he imported as the ice from the England lakes. So he exported from England the ice to many tropical countries actually. So even India, we imported ice cubes from England through the Frederick Tudor's ships. So he harvested in European nation, then he exported it to some tropical zones which have never seen ice. So, but still, this was considered as the ice was served only to the luxurious people, and though it was not available to all the common usage, this is considered as a industry revolution 1.0 because Tudor used ships and like several good techniques that will not allow the ice to melt, right? So this we can consider as a industry revolution 1.0. So then comes with the industry revolution 2.0, that is the invention of electricity and the refrigerators came, and post to this 1913, chilling become our common luxury good for households worldwide, right? So here to the industry revolution 2.0. So thankful for the invention of electricity, and that has made refrigeration an integral part of our lives, right? So now let's take a glance at the industry revolution timelines. So a journey that have shaped our world, right? So from industry revolution 1.0, this is characterized by the mechanization of production, and to the industry 2.0, which brought about a mass production through the advent of electricity, and there comes the industry 3.0, and this marked on the onset of automation and computerization. So this leading us to the current epoch. So the current epoch, which leading us to find ourselves in the era of AI, right? So industry 4.0 is defined by the integration of AI, IoT, and seems other cyber physical systems, and this can be considered as a technical leap. And so today we explore how this integration of AI can revolutionize the very foundation of our food supply chain. So making it not only efficient but also sustainable. So as we delve into this session on AI empowers your plate, so building a sustainable food supply chain from farm to fridge. So let's keep in mind that these industrial developments um, must also align with sustainability goals. But our journey does not end here. Actually, it's about creating a foundation so that ensures the benefits of these advancements last until the next revolution and beyond that. So welcome you all to the session on AI powers your plate, building sustainable food supply chain from the farm to fridge. So this is the agenda for the day. First, we will look at what the food supply chain looks and what sustainability is, and then we come to an idea that how a sustainable food supply chain looks around. And in a sustainable food supply chain, what AI's application in the farm phase, and then in a manufacturing phase, and in a logistic phase, and then on our plate. That's on the consumption side. So can we move forward?
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
So people who raise the hands, you can put it down. So if any questions, you can again raise it up so that we can have a good discussion on around it. So now let's take a moment to understand the foundational structure of this intricate system, food supply chain. So here you can see a simplified representation of a linear food supply chain. So it begins at the farm where our food journey commences with cultivation and harvesting, and the process then moves through the stages of like processing and packaging, and then followed by the transportation to various markets. Finally, our food reaches the consumer and culminating in the consumption, right? And along this chain, and we should not forget the multitudes of stakeholders, right? So the stakeholders intrinsically involved in each phase of this journey, and these stakeholders play a pivotal role in ensuring the efficiency, safety, and sustainability of the food supply chain. So from farmers and the processors to the transporters, retailers, and even the consumers, so every link in this chain is a crucial. Building on our understanding of this linear supply chain, so let's now delve into the sustainability concept and how the sustainability adoption of this chain is going to make changes in the linear system, right? So in the context of, if we look at the food supply chain, the sustainability involves like evaluating three main pillars. So that's what we majorly call as sustainability, right? So the environmental, social, and the economic impact at each stage, right? From the harvesting phase, then the production, and to the distribution, and at the consumer phase. So this evaluation allows us to measure the how at each system the application or the entire techniques is for the performances, and it allows us to understand the intricate connection it's happening between each stakeholders, like how your distributor is connected to a farmer and how the farmer is and say to be connected to the consumer, so how the entire chain is linked. And ultimately this enhances the overall efficiency of the system, so how efficiently, how optimistically we can utilize the system. So that is what the sustainable concepts and the development goals will do over the food supply chain, right? So with all these information, I think now we have to think. So now the food supply chain requires sustainability means, is the existing linear supply chain is sustainable or not, right? So this is one of the question. So anyone wish to answer here, like do you think this linear food supply chain is sustainable? You can add your comments, you can unmute yourself and you can add your comments. Okay, so we continue here. I understand the answer is no, like the current linear supply chain is not sustainable, so the justifications are here actually. So first one is, if we look on the perspective of environmental degradation. Okay, so the food system contributes like 26 percentage of global greenhouse gas emission, right? So with the livestock production and the land use change, and these are the like a major culprits. So this is directly impacting the climate change. And if we take agriculture alone, right? So it actually accounts for like 70 percentage of global freshwater withdrawals and the soil erosion threatens. So these all making a bad impression on the crop yields. So this resource depletion majorly due to the inefficient practices, and there is no awareness on it, right? So then another justification is, in the lenses of food wastage, if you look around, one third of all the food produced globally is wasted. So this is equal to like
हाँ
1.3
हेलो सर,
billion
हाँ सर,
tons
कॉल
per
किए
year.
थे. गुड इवनिंग.
Uh, yeah, someone is
हाँ
talking
सर,
over.
कल आपका मॉर्निंग का सेशन में टॉक है सर. 9:30 से स्टार्ट होगा. आप 9:30 टू 11 अराउंड बोल देना. उसके बाद एक 15-20 मिनट ब्रेक हो जाएगा. उसके बाद आपका स्टूडेंट बोल देगा.
Prashanjit, can you
और सर
unmute
आपका
yourself?
वो शॉर्ट सीवी एक दे
Prashanjit,
देना.
can you unmute yourself?
हाँ, एनआईटी का वेबसाइट से. ओके
Prashanjit.
सर, तो मैं वेबसाइट से पिक कर लूंगा. ओके ओके. ठीक है, कल मिलते हैं. ओके.
Sorry, ma'am. You please continue.
Yeah, no problems, no problems. Yeah. Okay. So we are in the lens of food wastage. Okay. So one third of all the food we produce globally is actually wasted, and this is same wasted food amount is like that could can feed actually 2 billion people annually, right? So
हाँ,
the
और भी
numbers are
बहुत.
really huge. Mm. And if we also have a several ethical concerns, right? So the unfair labor practices, so poor working conditions, all these prevails in a many parts of the food supply chain, impacting the millions of the workers, right? So if the farmers or someone working on down to the supply chain or facing unfair labor, and these also here ethical concerns, a sustainable use case that needs to be concerned or needed an application to resolve it. Then we have another justification is that the price volatility. So, and the market fluctuation in the current linear supply chain is making or threatening the livelihoods of the farmers, right? And the food producers, and particularly in lower and middle income countries, this is happening. And lack of access to the land and resources for small scale farmers. Suppose how many years the farmers will continue to be as a farmers. So to leap from a farming to the small scale production, there needs some capital need, right? So all these kind of ethical concerns are need to be sealed, and what this happen is this will cause and continue the inequalities, and this hinders the sustainable food production practices entirely. So another justification is the climate change. As we know, climate change and extreme weather changes events, this also threatens the food security, and making the sustainable and resilient food system a crucial one for the future population, right? If the future generation or the population needs to survive, we need to change something in our existing systems, so that that will fix all the patches, and then that will make the entire system workable and more sustainable. And another one major thing we have to consider is the growing population, right? So the growing population puts increasing pressure on the food system, and this requiring efficient and sustainable practices to ensure enough food to everyone, right? So that is what our SDG first goal, right? First and second goal: no poverty and zero hunger. So if you look around, right? So now we understood like what is the existing or traditional food supply chain we'll be looking, and now we got what sustainability can do on the food supply chain, like why the food supply chain do require sustainability. And here, as we contemplate this both, so now let's shift our perspective to a something like a transformative approach. So this is called a sustainable and circular food supply chain. So I think this picture can be a little different from the which one we saw earlier, right? The linear one. So unlike this, that the traditional linear model where the products move in a one single direction. So if some wastage happens in between, it directly goes to the landfills, and no proper reuse or recycle things are happening. So suppose what if each phase is equipped with some good practices or efficient methodologies, as well as if it equips with a recycle, reuse, and repurpose units, right? So this will really make a great change in the entire integrating system, right? So here we have like a processing unit. Instead of that linear progression, the processing unit becomes a key player in this circular system actually. So it's not just about creating the product, so it's about designing them with your future in mind and ensuring they can be recycled, repurposed, and reused, right? And then we have this market and consumer end. So the end of the line is no longer dead, right? So it's not going to dead in the consumer side itself, so rather it's having a junction where materials can at different paths, whether they are being recycled into new products or repurposed for alternative usages or simply reused, right? These are all considered. So in this kind of circular food supply chain, the three main pillars are like recycle, reuse, and repurpose. So these three pillars become central in this circular model, and we can call this as also a circular economy model. So here, materials are not discarded after a single usage. So instead, they re-enter the system in a way that minimize the waste, reduce the environmental impact, and also ensures more sustainable future. Right? Suppose imagine a world where our food packaging once used does not end up in landfills, but is transformed into a new packaging or repurposed for other applications. So this morning I saw one video about Japan's chopstick covers. Okay, in Japan, what they do is they are giving the chopsticks in a paper cover, and they have in the paper cover itself they have given an instruction how to make it as a chopstick stand. So how it is like they are thinking to repurpose something that we will throw in the dustbin, right? So these are all very resilient ideologies. And most importantly, if we invest in sustainable food supply chain, that will create more job opportunities, and that will boost the local economies, and it will also contribute to the overall well-being of the communities. So in the upcoming slides, we will look around what AI can do in each of these sustainable food supply chain phases, right? So let's move ahead. So as we delve into the first phase of food supply chain, it's the farming or the harvesting field, right? So before discussing about the use cases, we need to understand the pain point in this particular phase, right? If we understand the pain points, then it will be easier for us to design our solution. And whatever the use cases we are discussing, as well as the pain points, is not only limited. There are a bunch in the real world. So I have fetched very few, and that can be constructed or solved or try to be solved with AI, right? So here are the pain points in AI in form, like in what AI can do in a form. In that, before dwelling into that, we are going to look around what are the pain points the in the farm we have in the farm phase, right? First one is a climate challenge. So as we know, the unpredictable nature of the climate and that marked by the droughts, floods, and pests, infections, and that poses a significant threat to the agricultural yield and the livelihood of the farmers, right? So adapting to these challenges is a crucial for sustainable farming practices. That's true. And then second is the unfair share. That's what we saw, the inequalities. So farmers often face the burnt of fluctuating prices in the market, and the high input cost and the limited access to the market are also happening. And this volatility in the agriculture economy can significantly impact the income and the overall sustainability of the entire chain. And there comes the skill gap. So small scale farmers in a particular, they need to navigate rapidly evolving landscapes, right? They do have their own needs and wants. And in the traditional farming practices, uh, there is a growing demand for adaptable skills, and that's go beyond a conventional approach, right? So these are the pain points we are facing in the farm phase. So now what we're going to do is we're going to shine some light on it. So let's do that. So now the exciting part is exploring how AI applications can act as a game changers and on addressing these pain points and transforming the agricultural landscapes. That means the in the farming phase. So moving forward, one potential solution is harnessing the power of AI in precision agriculture. And I assume that you guys have already delved into this during your previous sessions. So I saw in the schedule, and so I will keep it as a concise. Mm, anyone here willing to add your points that you already learned in the previous sessions, or you have in mind something on that? Anyone willing to add your points here? Okay, so yeah. So picture, so now let's discuss on this precision agriculture thing. So picture your soil moisture sensors, right? And the drones and the weather station working together to gather real-time data. And while AI algorithms process this information to optimize the irrigation systems, fertilization, and the pest controls, right? So if you do all these beneficial thing, what are the exact benefit that comes to light is reduced water usage, lower cost, increased yield, right? These are like a testament to AI's real impact on a modern farming. So we can tell that. So then there comes the predictive analytics, right? The predictive capabilities come to the forefront. And so now we imagine this like AI powered weather forecasting models that don't just predict the weather but do so with yeah, unprecedented level of accuracy, right? Highly accurate models. So these models analyze the historical weather data and current conditions and the global climate pattern, right? Nowadays the climate patterns are really in a dilemma, right? So understanding this global climate pattern, so these all foresee the weather events like the weekly and monthly. So if you know that in advance, we can take a advanced steps. And this isn't just about planning a day ahead. Okay, this is not just planning about the next day. It's about how the entire strategic year will be and how the in a long term decision making can be made easier with these predictive analytic models. So now extend this predictive powerness to the market dynamics, right? Suppose to understand the market, how the predictive analytics can be used is, so AI algorithms, so that dive deep into the historical trends and like the consumer behavior, how the consumer behaved, and then the global economic factors to forecast the crop prices and what are the market fluctuation that happened, like the one that happened, it's a COVID, right? This kind of events, and these can be analyzed and a good predictions can be happened on the same. So what are the benefits here is the farmers can strategically plan what they can plant, and they can schedule their harvesting so that they can avoid the weather related damages, and choose their optimal crop variety, right? Based on the predicted demand, they can choose the crop varieties, and even they can negotiate better prices armed with like good market insights. If they have good market insights, they can negotiate their prices, right? So the next use case is here, where AI step in not only in enhance the processes, but also the key idea is that it can empower the farmers in new and innovative ways, right? So now imagine like AI potential crop processing system, the algorithms that optimize the drying procedures, sorting procedures, and packaging process that tailored for very specific crops, right? So and then if we do so, what the result will be is a consistently quality product, and that add the significant value to the crops, so right at the very beginning or very right source, so it will add. And adding to that, AI's influence extends to the like direct to consumer platforms, like the farmers can be connected directly to the farmers. So what they can do is, imagine like a farmer is leveraging an online platform that is backed up with AI driven marketing and some logistic details. Okay, this direct connection with the consumers just not only increase the profit margin, right? So what this also do is this can help them to build a brand loyalty. So the farmers now empowered to an entrepreneur, so, and this will be like creating a win-win situation for both. Like the farmers will become an entrepreneur, so they will be getting good compensation, and the consumers directly getting it from the farmers so that they can get a in a reasonable pricing, right? So all these things can happen if we have some sustainable strategy or this kind of systems in mid in the entire food supply chain. And we can also talk about some diversified ideas, right? Like AI control systems that is managing dairy and biofuel productions, so right on the farm. So this isn't just about the farming, so it's about smart farming, right? That diversifies income streams and also promote a resource efficiency. So what these and all will give benefits, like it will give you the increased control over the value chain, improved profits for farmers, and reduced food waste, and a significant boost to the local food security. And AI is just optimizing these processes, right? It's also transforming a very new dynamic of whatever happen on the on farm operations. And here I like to add an example, like some of you can imagine like what AI can do in the farming, right? In the milk productivity. So here is an example. So what the example is, like in the dairy industry, we can have the meteorological data, and what happen is each cow in the farmers like will be tracked with the RFID, and their body temperatures will be analyzed. So it is like making the animal less stressed. Suppose analyzing their bodily temperature, they will be segregated, right? If their body temperature is somewhat mismatching or somewhat overheated, so they will be diverted to another path. There will be misters will be added, like the water will be sprayed on them so that the heat will be reduced, and this will help them to reduce the stress, and it directly impact the good yielding, right? So all all these can happen with AI if we are using in the dairy forms. So I found this is an interesting use case, that's why I have pasted it here. So so as we transition to the manufacturing phase, so we saw what AI can do in the farms. Now let's look around what AI can do in the manufacturing unit. So before delving into that, it's essential to understand the pain points that often plug in this crucial stage of food supply chain, right? So in manufacturing, what are the challenges? First on the list is we have is insufficient processes. So think about inefficiencies in the resource utilization, waste generation, and energy consumption. So these are not only impact profitability, but also raise concerns about the sustainability of our manufacturing practices. So next up is fragmented supply chains. So the lack of visibility and the data sharing across the supply chain. So what they do is that creates a bottlenecks and that will create a delay. So in a fragmentation that hinder our ability to respond to or switch the market fluctuation, right? If the market is fluctuating, if we have a fragmented supply chain, then it will be difficult to connect everything. So this will directly impact the overall efficiency of the manufacturing processes. And at last, we have this one. We face the challenges on reactive maintenance. So in unplanned equipment failures that is happening in the production unit, so that will directly impact the production downtime. So this will directly proportional to the financial losses and disruption to the delivery schedules, and these all scenarios uh, actually we want to avoid, right? So to deal with these challenges, here we have few applications that AI can fix those. So first one is we have a sensor networks and some data analytics, right? So imagine that a real-time data on a machine performance, and then energy consumption by each machineries, and what are the materials we do use. And this information becomes a bedrock for the intelligent decision making in manufacturing, and that offer the insights to drive the efficiency. And next in line are machine learning algorithms. So these algorithms, like they were fueled with the power of AI. We know that they do good, either it's a regression problem or classical one. They do a good, they do excel in the manual things, right? So what they can do is they can predict the potential issues and allowing a proactive intervention, and identify the areas of where and all the resource can be reduced and where the wastage can be minimized, and thereby it's all contributing to the sustainable manufacturing strategy. Then there is a concept called digital twin, right? So these are like a virtual replica of the production lines, and that simulate the performance scenarios. So it will be like if you are working on a for example, if you are working on a very big farm that is like hundreds of thousands of acres, so what we can do is the same miniature versions can be done as a virtual replica, like how we are doing our avatars. So this can be done using AI as well as blockchain as well as the metaverse thing. So we can do that, and the simulation of that entire big area into a small can easily help us to understand how the land can be utilized in sectors, like where we can place the dairy farm, where we can sow the one particular crop in another particular crop, where we can use some renewable energies like the windmills. So all these can be simulated, and this will directly impact us good optimized processes, right? So in the grand scheme of things, this precision and optimization powered by AI just not only enhance the productivity but also is aligned with the principle of sustainability in the manufacturing, right? So going with this one, next up we have the predictive maintenance and agility. So as we mentioned earlier, so suppose AI predicting the equipment failures before they happen actually. So this will ensure a smooth failure handling, right? So the smooth operations can be handled through like this will prevent either if the machinery is about to failure, so this we can do some preventive measures to handle it. So then we have demand forecasting and supply chain optimization. So here AI can analyze the market trends and the consumer data, so that what we can do is we can predict the demand, so then we can optimize the production schedules and the logistics whatever happening, the transportations that we can handle in efficiency. And then finally, so the adaptive and responsive manufacturing. So what happens is here AI will enable for a quick adjustments to changing market needs, right? So this will allow us for personalized products and more agile production lines. And uh, all these makes not only a sustainable but like a smarter way of manufacturing, right? The smarter manufacturing phase in the entire food supply chain. So then we have sustainability and resource efficiency. So here first we have a closed loop manufacturing. Okay, so here how AI can be used is, again, AI is a have a crucial role in managing the waste and recycling. We can do the upcycling the materials, and this will ultimately aim to minimize the environmental impacts, right? And then we have a renewable energy integration. So what AI can do is AI will optimize the energy consumption, and this will facilitate as a seamless integration. For example, we have this automated vehicles, right? So in that we have this AI, automated AI powered vehicles. So what happen is it will analyze the pattern, and it will recognize, and it will use some intelligence to when to apply the acceleration in what range, and when not to apply the acceleration, and when to apply the brake systems in particular degree. So all this will happen is like, we know, right, when we are driving cars, if we do drive in a very low gear, like from the gear 1 or gear 2, it will consume more gasoline. So that is the same similar thing, like when you are driving the electric car, if you are driving in a very slow speed or something, I think it's some techniques around it. So this AI intelligent system will adapt to that changes, and it will always look forward to the efficient and optimal usage. And then we have a green product design. So AI algorithms, they do contribute to the development of sustainable product designs, and this is like minimizing, like a minimalist. So with a minimal material usage, how we can do things, and focusing on reducing the overall ecological impact, like the carbon footprints. And it's all about making the manufacturing equipped with AI as well as the more sustainable. So up to this, we covered with the farm and the manufacturing unit, and we looked around the pain points, and we looked around like the active AI applications. So now we move to the logistic phase. So in logistic phase, what are the pain areas, right? So here first we have a inefficient distribution, right? So then again, in like in manufacturing, how the fragmented distribution is doing bad. So here we have a fragmented logistics. So and the unpredictable routes, like when to the delivery partners are having unpredictable routes and the manual processes. So what all these will do is this will contribute to the delays, and also directly impact the wasted resources. So the resource will be wasted. Like, yeah, our ice example. Suppose when we are shifting ice cubes from in a truck, so that is taking some misleaded routes. So what happens? It will melt down and get wasted, right? So it will like wastage of the resources as well as the wastage of the food items. So then we have another issue is the APAC supply chain. The supply chain is not enough transparent. So this lack of visibility into the product origin, where my product exactly originate from, right? So, and then the transportation condition, in which transportation it actually traveled. So when you are receiving some Amazon packages, you can clearly see some packages will come in a very good manner, but some packages will be coming in a very damaged manner. So I think now we can see our entire chain in Amazon, like from where they are shipping it. But still we need more information why my product have damaged during the travel, right? So these things can be adjusted with several AI applications. So then we have potential ethical concerns that will erode, like if this keeps on going, the APAC supply chain, then we will lose the customer trust, right? Suppose if we keep on receiving a damaged product from Amazon or any Flipkart or any other e-commerce site, so then they will lose our trust, and we won't buy from any of the platforms. And and lastly, it is a inequality in access and impact. So like the rural and undeserved communities, so they often face limited access to the reliable and affordable logistic services, right? Still we do have this hindrance. And what this will do is, like this will impact the economic development, and even the social sustainability. So in sustainability, we have this branch social. So if something is happening to even the societal way, not as in a technical way, but on the ethical concerns, so that also something that is hindering the sustainable growth, right? So these are all the pain areas we do have in the logistics. So now let's see how AI applications can be tried out to resolve these. Yeah. So one key application is automated route planning, right? So we have this AI algorithms that work in real time to optimize the delivery routes. So this is very easier, like easier to understand, like how optimistically your package can be traveled from one end to the delivery sector, right? So this will be including like this has actually a variable factors too, right? Like the delivery routes and what is the traffic and what is the weather. Suppose if it is a very rainy or snow, we can't drive that much fast. And what is the vehicle capacity? So if the vehicle is completely overloaded, how fast it will move. Okay, so all these can be optimally tracked, and AI optimization can be applied here. So what this will do is um, the reduced empty miles. That means um, optimally the entire route can be delivered. Now I think some of the logistic partners, like who are delivering our couriers, they also delivering our food, and the food delivery people, they also doing a courier delivery. So this is like, I'm not going with empty route anywhere. So wherever I'm going, I do the purpose of serving. So this will be like this will lower the fuel consumption, and it will minimize the emission that is happening through the vehicles we do use. And another valuable tool is predictive traffic management. So like AI anticipates this congestion and provides alternative routes. Like even if we use our Google Maps, we can visualize it, like where we are getting the congestions, and it will give you the alternate routes. Suppose instead of going here, you can take up another route, so that you can just, it might take 1 or 2 kilometers extra, but you can save your time. Or similarly, uh, yep. And at last, we do have this modal shift optimization. So here, AI models assess the carbon footprints of various transportation we do have, like trucks, trains, ships, suggesting the most sustainable options for each shipment. This was yeah, case in when you are doing shipments, like the bigger logistic companies when they are doing shifting. So they do check on all these available options, and then they choose the most good options. It is like you have to get a timely delivery and cost efficient delivery, and the delivery should also concern about the environmental impact, how much emission it is doing, right? Like it is like contributing to the greener and more environment friendly logistic network. So yeah, so then we have solutions like sustainable delivery solution. This is particularly like empowering the local communities, right? As we said, we are giving opportunities to this micro level of employment. So when we the first thing is like micro fulfillment centers. This is like the cutting edge AI that power the warehouses, right? Strategically positioned in underserved areas. Like this is what I suggest told earlier. Like the food delivery partners, they are delivering the couriers, and the courier delivery partners, they are delivering the foods, because when they can't serve both in one place, they can be having one, and they will serve the both uh, needs, right? So this is like minimizing the transportation again, and they we can reduce the distance, and they can reduce the emission, and they can do a delivery in time. And this not only enhance the efficiency, and I think this can help us to get empowerment on local employment, right? And the next thing is demand forecasting and local inventory management. Suppose if we are running on if I'm running your logistic services in my locality, in my area, so I need to forecast my storage capacity, right? Because the forecasted inventory size should match with my storage capacity. So through the advanced prediction of this local demand patterns, what are the demand patterns, Then AI will optimize the inventory levels with the undeserved communities. Like what happen is it will suppose if I am having a inventory management system, right? So I'm having a house of like 400 square feet that can store some goods. Then I already in my backend I do have several of my friends who do support with addition of like 200 square feet. Suppose I'm serving for Mintra, right? We getting an example, Mintra. So whenever this seasonal sales happen, Mintra delivery will be like a skyrocketing. So I will be getting more packages. So I have to store it and then only I can deliver it, right? So at that time, what happens is the AI system can predict this local demand. So it can predict the Mintra is going to do the seasonal sale. So you can expect bigger storage space. So then automatically what it can do is it can check up with the backend of my friends or someone who I already accessed or I registered with. So it will allocate me spaces. So this will be like meeting the demands. So then we have a sustainable last minute delivery. So AI driven electric vehicles and even the drones that are forefront for the last mile delivery solutions. Even some transportations, like if you are living in some island and the transportation is little cozy, then what we can do is we can use this drone based systems to complete this last mile delivery. So all this is happening due to the AI driven electric vehicles and drones and these things can be like in two ways we can say like the cost efficiency will be aligned with the sustainability or not, but if you look on the societal perspective, this also can be achieved, right? The societal perspective can be achieved, so it is like um, encapsulating the sustainability through it. So yeah. So before we are moving into our last phase, that is AI on our plate. So now our food supply chain have traveled from farm, then we went to manufacturing unit, then we went to the logistic, right? We traveled so far phases and we saw multiple pain points and we saw multiple use cases. Anyone wishing to add anything? Are we good to move with AI on your plate section? Okay,
Yes,
I saw a
madam.
thumbs up.
Yes, carry on.
Yep. So this is actually I truly like this particular phase because still we need more applications to be implemented. And what I think is this particular phase is on our hand, okay, on our day-to-day life. Yeah. So this particular phase is uh, requires more from each individual, right? It just not only depend on the transporter, it not just depend on the farmer, but this particular phase is depends on each consumer because farmer is also a consumer, right? But consumer is not a farmer, but every individual is a consumer. So here we do have a key challenges: grocery graveyard. So where your oversized portion and like nearing expiry items, like the items that are about to expire, that are contribute to the unnecessary wastes actually. Like even the expired goods, they are going into the landfills. As well as if a product is about to expire in either 1 or 2 months, people won't buy it, so it is automatically going to the landfills. But in this thing what we are doing is we are missing a available opportunity actually. So whenever we are discarding some scraps or about to expire foods, it is like we are wasting the entire supply chain it traveled, right? So from where it traveled, traveled like from the farm, from the manufacturing unit, one from the logistic, and then simply we are discarding it into the landfill or in the dustbin. Then the entire travel it made has become wasted, right? So here how AI can help us. AI can help us turn this compost or enriching soil and repurposing them into a like new creation or fostering sustainability or some creative cooking even. Suppose if a grocery store is having a bunch of bananas or some fruits, okay, that are about to expire, suppose tomorrow they can't sell it, what they can do is they can connect with the local community and they can do make a banana shake or some other banana chip, or they can make it and they can sell it, right? But we are not doing that because The current system is not that much efficient for the grocer to go and communicate with the local creators who are working on creating or cooking these banana chips or cooking this banana shake. But suppose if we do have some application that can easily monitor and connect these two people, then imagine how much food wastage is stopped, right? But however, it's very very crucial actually, that this area really needs, as I mentioned, it really needs more work on improvising. And the innovative potential of AI is actually in minimizing food wastage in this particular phase. So uh, like in farm we have seen how the precision agriculture and other models of equipping and helping. But in consumer and this grocery side, even the demand forecasting is another part. But AI can be utilized more on preventing this food wastage, right? So let's move further, like how AI applications can be hosted to overcome these challenges, right? So as we already saw this demand forecasting in our manufacturing and logistics side, now the demand forecasting on the grocer side or yeah, the grocer side or some restaurant side, so that will really help them to um, get their sales predicted, right? So what happened is, in demand forecasting algorithm that analyze the historical of sales data, even the weather patterns. Suppose chilled goods won't be sold in the cold weather, and even the hot things won't be cold in the won't be sold in the hot weather. So this kind of pattern matching. And then the local events, like suppose something is happening in your locality, so you can't, sometimes the demand will increases, or sometimes if there is no event happening, then you bought that much extra good, then it will be like going into waste. So all these local events or help us to predict the demand accurately with AI applications. And next to this demand forecasting, we have one exciting use case, that is a dynamic pricing engine. Okay, what this dynamic pricing engine will do is it will adjust the prices in real time based on the factors like expiration date and product popularity. Suppose one product is in higher demand and that is having some good expiry date also, like 1 year of expiry date, they can give it for the MRP rate. But suppose if a product is nearing its expiry date, but it is also good, we can consume still by some date, right? If these products they can adjust and they can all see all the factors and parameters, then they can adjust the price and they can offer the discounts. Then what happen is, the product with the higher expiry dates they will stay, but the product with very lesser expiry or nearing its expiring date can be sold out for some good offers. The consumer also will be, if they are consuming it so soon, they can get a good offers. So it will like a win-win situation again. And another one innovative aspect is that community food sharing platform, right? So like connecting these grocery stores with the local food banks, as I mentioned in the my banana shake example, and like connecting the grocers who are dealing with the enormous food supply, they can connect with the local community groups as well as the local food banks, so they can have this integration facilities. And they can do some efficient food donation as well as repurposing initiatives. As I mentioned, this banana is transforming to the banana shake and still it's serving its purpose to serve to people or consumed, right? And this will also ensure the surplus food is find its own way in all the needs. And finally, we do have this recipe recommender system, right? So this recipe recommender system is like, it will analyze whatever the items you do have in your cupboard, and then you can register it, and then it will, depending on the available sources, and on the also the it will register about the expiry date thing. So suppose if your food in the cupboard is about to expire, it will remind you. Suppose if we bought a milk and you are storing it and it is about to expire tomorrow, so within today it will alert us to do prepare some milk tea or do prepare some other recipes with milk. So these and all some recipe recommender systems we can build with the AI systems. And that is very similar application. I have mentioned it for the restaurants perspective, because the restaurants also dealing with enormous food supply, right?
Excuse me, madam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a minor question. May I proceed? Actually, sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, yeah, Tawfiq
So,
Ahmed, yes, exactly.
yeah, yeah. So, what about this? I mean, AI on play different sort of like this algorithms and different recipe generation method and all those things. So, those things will be offered under a single package. I mean, suppose, I mean, how it is being planned? Like, it will be offered if the no, I mean, it will be all will be integrated as a single package, or it will be like
Yeah.
each different model like.
So what our thought of whenever we are discussing about this, when we did the case study on this, what we thought is we are keeping it as in one particular application because this recipe recommender you can see, right? So it purely depends on nearing expiry items. So this is like when you purchase from an item from your store, right? So you actually link, you will be having your uh, profile in within the grocery store, right? So what happen is this the from the grocer side they will give you a recipe recommender application system. So what happen is whenever you do the purchase and when they are doing the billing, so the entire items journey will be registered here, so that it will alert you. You suppose because it's the interlink, right? So it will suggest you bought this milk from this particular vendor, and because that's the time we can track the entire expiry dates, right? It's then it
Yeah.
will be like, yeah, this is entirely from the grocer side we have. And if you want this particular application only for the consumer side, yes, I have in the another slide I do have. In that we can scan the application, scan the good, then manually or from the CV, from the computer vision, it will scan the expiry date, or you can manually enter the expiry date, and the standalone the consumer can handle the application. It will not connect from a particular grocer.
Yeah, yeah, because actually there are some like demand forecasting algorithm, this dynamic price engine, all this from the groceries perspective, whereas
Exactly.
the recipe recommender is from the consumer, I mean,
This
end
is
consumer
kind
perspective.
of application that is offered to you, like when we are ordering this Swiggy Smart, right? Swiggy Smart or some mini carts, Blinkit. So this kind of the grocer they support with their application, and there the user can have all these usage.
Okay, 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 thank you.
Thank you, Tofik. Yep. Yeah, this is on the restaurant side again. So here we can have this machine learning algorithms that can analyze the past orders, right? What happened in the in some particular event date, or the customers' demographics, and some dining trends depends on the demographics. And all these enable some accurate prediction of individual preferences, and then some optimal portion sizing. Now we have this food delivery applications, right? In all the back we do have entire engine is running actually. Depending on the food trend that's happening, the restaurants will be alerted with that options, so that they can come up with their dynamic ranges. So um, again the forecasting their demands. Yep. And we have this smart inventory management. Again, this optimizing the restaurant inventory based on the predicting demand, and then it can eliminate overstocking issues, and it can ensure the integrate so all the utilized goods efficiently. And particularly some innovative feature is like then again the dynamic menu adjustment tools, right? Suppose it is not only sticking to one particular menu, so these tools suggest like modifications to especially specials in real time based on the ingredients availability, whatever available in our store, and what can be stored and what cannot be stored, or what should be utilized as soon as. So depending on that, the entire menu systems can be dynamically adjust. So all these focused on reducing the food wastage, but also this keeps this focuses on keeping the menu fresh and diligent. Like it will be the aim is to serve people, right? And lastly again we do have this delivery route optimization. So whenever this delivery partners who was serving you food, they need some optimal routes, because they are delivering food. The food should not take it will not take much time, right? Some food needs to be delivered in less than some minutes, and it should be like the ice creams as we mentioned earlier, so it needs to be served in very specific time. So all these are considered, and as well as we have to minimize the environmental impacts. And if you noted recently, this Zomato, they have this 100 percentage environmental friendly, I think, or greener delivery, I guess they mentioned it, 100% greener delivery. That means they are focusing on optimized routing, as well as they focused on using electrical vehicles for the delivery, right? All these adaptations from several stakeholders in the entire chain, it will make really someone is like each one of us working towards some sustainable growth. Then if you look at the bigger picture, it is like a growth from all the stakeholders, and it is like growth from all landscapes. Yeah. So here we do have, as Tofik mentioned, here we can have this one like entirely standalone application for the user side. So it is a consumer alone. What you can call it as a creative chef in our pocket. So this kind of innovative application, what it will do is it will use the cutting edge technologies. Firstly, the image recognition, right? So what happens is this will empower the user to identify the ingredients. So whatever the ingredients they already have in the fridge or some pantry. So simply by using the smartphone cameras, they can scan it, and then seamlessly they can integrate some AI enhanced systems, and then efficiently they can prepare the meal. And another is a personalized recipe recommendation apps. So this adds some personal touch to the personalization of to our culinary journey, we can say. And this will suggest some delicious recipes that are tailored to our available ingredients again, and our dietary preferences can be added here. And like we can have some slight difference between each meal, so that will aim to give you some delightful experience. Okay. And then on tackling the food wastage, so it is like proactively reminding us. So um as Tofik asked in the earlier one, so that is from the grocery end, they will track us what are the foods we are using and what we have purchased and nearing the expiry dates. And here we can have a standalone application. Here no groceries involved, but what happens is we can manually register it, like scanning the barcode. Suppose if imagine um, the barcode is itself, it's giving you the expiry dates. Just a single scan is enough. It will can scan, and it will take in your in the application that it will expire in this time. So it will alert you. So you wherever the it is like grocer free, but you bought the item, so you are manually scanning it and utilizing it, and it will remind you whether the item is utilized or please use it upfront. And if suppose you missed using it in the expiring time, it also offers you some creative ideas to how we can repurpose them, or we can minimize the wastage, unnecessary wastage, right? So all these creative ideas can be given through these applications. And again, so we can't do without any social activities. So we can have a community food sharing platforms. So that's like fostering a sense of community by connecting we with our neighbors. So this allows for sharing some excess food, as well as like not preventing them from going bad. So and like contributing to more sustainable food ecosystem. So all this can happen with some graph theory algorithms. So we can do this mapping. So this is what AI can do on our plate. And so these all from our case study actually. And actually the case study aimed is for food wastage at the consumer side. So to look around the food wastage at the consumer side, we just studied out through the entire supply chain. Then we came to understand that certain use cases are lightweight. Like if you want the precision agriculture and all, you need some large scale items to be implemented. But on the grocer side or the consumer side, entirely the wastage is like huge. And when looking at this AI application, the application's also becoming lightweight, right? Lightweight in sense, this is like morely depends on the logical modeling rather than integrating with the higher equipments and then doing the drone thing. Doing AI applications on the consumer and grocer side is very lightweight, and they do have a very good impact. Here are the shocking facts actually. Why we need to look around the sustainable food supply chain, right? So before we wrap up that, let's visit this statistics from the case study actually that really helped us realize the pressing need for the sustainable food supply chain. So according to the UNEP's food wastage report, it's like staggering 68.7 million tons of food are wasted annually in alone Indian homes. And this is like costing to the nation like $12 billion. And shockingly, India stands second worldwide in the household food wastage, with about like 50 kgs of food wasted per person per year. So this is like um, and another one reports from the Feeding India's report that adds another layer to this challenge, like indicating 14.3 percentage of our population or 194.4 million people are not receiving adequate nutrition. So this is like coupled with India's 107th position out of 121 countries in the global hunger index. So I think these all underscores the urgency of implementing sustainable practices in our food supply chain. And that's I mentioned earlier, constructing a application on the grocer side and the user consumer side is lightweight. That good strategy like proper business validation and proper solution validation and coming up with a good business model, we can do a lot of change. And here are the interesting startups actually I like to give an idea about. So now we have seen multiple pain points, we have seen multiple use cases, and there are a lot more to explore. And what these startups are doing is they took up this particular one use cases. I'm not talking about this MNCs because MNCs do have different units and they do have multiple projects. But what the startups do is they took up one particular pain area and they do work on the sustainable and social innovation, right? So here we have this WasteLink, GreenPod Labs, so Wasteless, Pepper Plate, and Flash Foods. So all these startups, they picked up one particular pain area and they worked on it, and they enhanced the strategy what they used, and they integrated AI as well as several cutting edge technologies, and they are all forefront to the journey of building a more sustainable and a circular food supply chain. So, empowered with the knowledge of AI's potential in revolutionizing the food supply chain. So, let's embark on the collective journey. So, together, we can build a sustainable and resilient food system using AI technologies. And it's time to integrate this innovative solution, foster a collaboration across sectors, and create a future where our plates are filled with not just food, but also a promise of sustainability. So join hands in shaping a greener and more efficient and inclusive food supply chain powered by AI. So thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your very interactive sessions. So, any queries from that participant side?